So this is the last update of the dashboard, and the first thing you're going to notice, the first change, is this help button here. The help button, actually, it's a link to the YouTube site where you can see the tutorial video. On the management of requirements button, you're going to notice this screen is basically the same, but the columns, the sequence of the columns has been changed slightly. You still have the project number here, pay item number here, description, supplemental description, project line, material number, material name. And here it's where it starts changing. You have the test column just after the material. And for each combination of contract line, material number, and test type, you have one specific requirement status, which is the same of the last version. And here you have a column that says it's a pay stopper or not. And this is a new column that shows if it's a minor quantity or not. If it's a minor quantity, you can waive it by using the TA557 here. If it's not, here you have the small quantity as well. So if those cases like this here, you can click this button and waive small quantity here. In this column you have the bid quantity plus the change order quantity. So you have the actual contract quantity. This column shows the install quantity. This is the sample represented quantity and satisfied sample quantity. And that's the pay item unit of measure, and that's the material supply unit of measure. Notice all those quantities are regards only to the pay item unit of measure. In a situation like this one, where you have install quantity of 200 and a satisfied quantity of only 150, you don't have enough satisfied samples or certifications for all the install quantity. But notice you have a represented quantity of 306, so you probably have samples or certifications enough. They are, for some reason, still not approved. And you can see that in these last columns here. So you have 3 samples or 3 certifications. Only one is approved, and none is still waiting for authorization. So if you want to understand what's happening here, now you have this new button here, certification and sample details, where you can click, and I'm going to show you the samples for this line here. So this line has 3 samples, and those are the 3 samples, and that's the status. The first one is accepted and authorized, and its quantity is 150. But the other 2 here are logged in the laboratory, but did not have been input in the system or approved in the system, neither authorized. So laboratory guys need to take some action on that, and you can communicate to them. Especially, you can now refer to the sample ID and request those samples to be addressed somehow. The other buttons work all the same way. For instance, if you have a but one like this one, which is ACL product. You can come here and click here, and it will require you the supplier of the material, and we will generate the TA555 for that material. In this case here, you need a TA556, so you can communicate an APL and release a TA556. You need to select the supplier and you generate it. Okay, the organization of the dashboard is still the same. So basically the first tab shows the pay stoppers, which are the requirements that have some stall quantity bigger than 0, and they are pay stoppers. So if you don't, and they don't have satisfied quantity enough to cover the install quantity. So when you run the next estimate, you're going to find a discount, an adjustment or a discount due to one of those requirements. If you address those requirements before you run the estimate, you'll be safe to run the estimate without any adjustments. Those other materials requirements are material requirements that will not hold payment but need to be addressed prior to the finals. Otherwise, they're going to show up in the materials memo. Those are open certification requirements. Sometimes they need to be addressed before you install the pay item, or many other times you can just request to delete the ones which not apply for a project specifically. If you're aware you're not going to use this kind of material in your project, you can request deletion by clicking this button here. Same for tests, APL products. Those are only the open APL requirements. So this one, you can generate the TA556 here, or if you're not going to use it, you can request to delete. Those are ACL, so you can still communicate you're going to use an ACL product by clicking and communicate the ACL, or you can request to delete. These are small quantity materials. You see, the column all says yes. What you can do here is to waive them. So generate a TA555 and waive the certification for those materials because they are too small and are not critical regarding of safety of the project. Same thing for the minor quantity materials. In this case, you're going to release a TA557 using this button here. The last two are just for report purpose. This one show all open requirements, and this one show all satisfied requirements. One important thing now, it's this new box here. If you click here, wherever window you open with this button will generate a copy in a separate spreadsheet. Like if you come here, it's all automatically generating this tab. And if you go like, oh, I want to see all satisfied requirements, you can just go here and going to generate a Excel report with everything you have there. just a little slow. You're supposed to use that only if you need it. Usually I keep this unmarked. Otherwise it's going to keep generating loads, many different Excel spreadsheets. This is a complete report of all requirements that has been satisfied so far.